Itching and scratching, no fun. For people who suffer from eczema, it can be a daily struggle. According to the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, about 1 in 3 people deal with eczema. It is a painful, itchy, and inflamed skin condition. So Dr. Anna Maria Temple is here today answering your questions today and dealing with eczema skin problems. If you have a question that you would like to get to our expert, this is how you do it. You text in that question. The number is 336-379-5775. Your question is anonymous, but you get your answer in real time. All right, so Dr. Temple, I know I gave just kind of a brief description, but kind of go into a little bit more detail. Let's start with eczema. What should someone who has it know about it, and how would you even know if you had it?
Well, eczema, like you mentioned, is an inflammatory skin condition, and it can present in many different ways. In children specifically, starting with babies, it starts on the face and it looks like red, scaly, itchy, oozy, sometimes bleeding skin. Sometimes it moves into the cradle cap, that orange kind of waxy feeling, but when the flakes come off, it can bleed and the kids are so scratchy. It then moves to the neck. As the kids get older, it goes to the inner creases of the arms, behind the knees, and it often affects the hands and the feet and the inner groin area. The hallmark of it is the kids are scratching, itching, and it seems to maybe go away a little bit and come back, but really overall it keeps coming back over and over and over again.
Okay, and so some people would think that it's a lotion related thing, like your skin is just dry.
The biggest misconception in eczema that it's a lotion deficiency. Now, some people do have dry skin, but that's not necessarily eczema. And by the way, atopic dermatitis and eczema are interchangeable. They actually talk about the same thing. But when we're truly talking about eczema, and we're talking about red, scratchy, bleeding, itching, oozing stuff, really, we have to talk about that. We have to heal the skin from within. The skin is on the surface, so it gives us the impression that the solution is on the surface, when in fact, the solution comes from within.
All right, and we were doing the stats, and it was saying how many people, how common eczema actually is. So is stress part of the reason why we get eczema?
Oh my gosh, stress is the biggest toxin in our American culture. And it's the toxin that most people don't want to talk about and don't want to do anything about. When stress hits, it raises the cortisol level. Cortisol is a hormone in our body, if you will, and when it's agitated, it decreases our sleep. Because when you're agitated and stressed and anxious and have 1,000 things running through your mind, you're not sleeping. Sleeping is imperative to healing the skin, because the immune system wakes up at night and cleans house. When we are stressed and the cortisol level is through the roof, what do we crave? Processed foods, sugar, and more sugar and processed foods, which is known to irritate the skin. And another thing that it does, it irritates the immune system. And one of the specific cells it likes to irritate is called the mast cell, which looks like a piñata. Inside this piñata, instead of candy, there's histamines. And when the cortisol annoys the mast cells burst open and they release histamines. When the body has too many histamines, you get the itching, scratching, and you can't even stand it.
Okay, all right, that sounds awful, and we want to get rid of it. So what are 5 ways that we can treat eczema?
So we discussed that eczema is not a lotion deficiency, so we have to first and foremost start looking at our lifestyle. You cannot out-supplement a lifestyle or a diet that doesn't fit your body. First thing to notice, number 1, is we're going to eliminate processed foods. When we go to the grocery store, we're going to buy foods that do not have artificial food colors, artificial ingredients, preservatives. All of those are known to trigger eczema. The second thing, we got to look at our sugar intake. Sugar can wreak havoc on the skin in multiple different ways. We want to keep our added sugar intake to less than 24 grams a day. Then, number 3, after you've done 1 and 2, don't skip 1 and 2. Everyone wants to skip 1 and 2. Number 3, replace one of the most common triggers of eczema, which is dairy. And replace dairy. We never want to eliminate, want to replace with an equally nutritious food. So bring in more avocados, more salmon, more coconut milk when you're replacing dairy. Number 4, we have to rebalance micronutrients. Add a zinc supplement, vitamin D supplement. Please do not purchase them from our friendly Amazon. That is not where we purchase our Amazon. That's where we get our shoes. Please find a reputable source to get your sources. And then we just talked about stress management. So I'm going to change number 5, a good probiotic to help the inner gut, the human microbiome get healthy, because the stronger and the better the gut, the healthier the skin.
Okay, so now we're going to go into something that's a little, because you said the gut. So we're going to talk about something that's a little bit icky, but you have to talk about it when it comes to eczema. There is something that you need to do to actually get rid of eczema.
Yes, you have to poop every day. Every day.
Why is that linked?
I know, no one's talking about it. Well, if we just look at the basic human need, every day we eat, we grow, we run, we exercise, and we have to get rid of toxins. And the way the body gets rid of toxins is through sweat, through pee, obviously, but the poop. Because we eat a lot of food and we have to poop every day. There's a direct correlation between constipation and eczema. I will tell you in my online program, mamas notice all the time, like, oh my gosh, the kids got constipated. No, the eczema's flared. Poop is better. The skin's better. What happens is that when we're pooping, we're every day in our life, we come in contact with thousands, millions, hundreds of toxins, from lead and arsenic, other heavy metals, pollen, chemicals, and various things in our food. The body is an amazing machine, and it knows how to detox. Again, everyone's looking for the fancy quick fix. You have to poop every single day so the body's in balance. Also, when you poop every day, it tells us the gut is working. And by the way, you may wonder, well, what constitutes good poop? I poop every day. It's got to be a long brown snake that comes out of your body easily. If you're in there for 30 minutes, not playing TikTok, but actually trying to get poop out, we have a problem. If your child makes pebbles, we have a problem. If you're making piles of diarrhea and you're like, oh, my toddler just has toddler diarrhea, guys, we have a problem. We're looking for long snake poops to help our body detoxify and our skin thrive.
All right, and only a doctor can talk about it like that, right? All right, so we are going to take your text questions when we come back. When you're talking about skin issues, remember you can text us right there, 336-379-5775. Welcome back. Dr. Anna Marie Temple is with us answering all kinds of questions about eczema and other skin issues. This person is asking, I have psoriasis. What exactly is the difference between eczema and psoriasis?
So the difference between eczema and psoriasis, that psoriasis is much more of an autoimmune condition where the body is attacking itself, and it shows up in a different plaque-like, has red lesions, thick plaques, and it can also invade the joints, where eczema does not invade the joints or touch the joints in any way.
And does eczema have anything to do with your immune system?
Absolutely, but it's not as it's not as autoimmune, if you will. So in psoriasis, we have a much more robust attack of the skin with the antibodies, but in eczema, we still have an antibody issue as well. So they're both immune inflammation.
Okay. All right. This next question is eczema inherited? I have psoriasis that I get rid of with medication. Meds don't really work for me. Never scratch, but my sons now have eczema.
Oh, all these questions are so good. So there is a genetic component. If one parent has eczema, it puts the child at risk of 40% getting eczema. If two parents have eczema, it puts the child at about 60% chance of getting eczema. But the genes only make our bodies more sensitive. What we talk about in holistic medicine is the genes load the gun and the environment pulls the trigger. There's a whole bunch of people that walk around with psoriasis genes and eczema genes and never actually develop this illness. And then we have other people that are always developing it. So we do have the genetics, which means we need to be even more cautious with our nutrition. We have to be even more attentive to our micronutrients, to our gut microbiome, to our stress levels. And is it fair? No, it's not. But what I usually tell people, I'm like, when you have this genetic background, you're much more of a sensitive human. So we have to be much more careful with our lifestyle and the choices we make every day.
All right. This next question says, my 1-year-old has eczema on her hands, and I have prescriptions, but it's hard because she puts her hands in her mouth like every kid does. What is the best way to treat the hands with small children?
Again, we're looking at eczema as a topical issue and what we're going to put on our hands. And we do need some topical things in order to rebalance the microbiome of our children's skin. But I'll tell you, we still have to work with processed foods? Are you nursing? Or is she bottle fed? Or does she have a lot of dairy in her diet? What about the amount of sugars? Have we tested her vitamin D levels, zinc levels? Is she pooping every single day? All the things that we just talked about still apply even when it's just on the hands, because it seems it's just on the hands, but the inflammation is deep inside and we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg.
So they need to go to their pediatrician and really have discussions about what's going on with this.
Correct, and dig deeper, and let's look at our diet and lifestyle and see what we can add. One simple thing that you can add that is safe for kids, you can actually do a bentonite clay that you can put in your bath. You can use half of a cup of bentonite clay in a bathtub, and the kids can play. It detoxifies the body and the skin and can help moisturize and soothe those achy skin parts.
All right, this person says, my granddaughter has eczema. They used all kinds of prescribed ointments and soaps. She's in Dupixia injections, but she still scratches. Do you have any suggestions?
Yes. So when we're doing the prescription medications are usually topical steroids, topical antibiotics. Dupixent is an immunomodulator, so it's an immunosuppressant. I know it's called a biologic. It's an immunosuppressant. And the whole point is to decrease the immune system from attacking the skin. However, modern medicine is great. I'm not here to badmouth modern medicine, but modern medicine is for acute care. It's for your acute symptoms, but it is not getting to the root cause. When you stomp down the immune system, we're not asking the question, why is the immune system out of control? Why is my child having all these sensitivities? Why is my children's body inflamed? We need to ask those questions and get to the root cause. We could use topical steroids or Eucrisa or Dupixent or other medications, but those are only temporary until we get to the root cause, and that's how we get long-term healing.
Gotcha. Okay, got to get to that root cause. Thank you so much for your time and your expertise. We appreciate it. If you missed any of this, you head to our website, click in the 2 Wants to Know section.